Heya Cryptozens, tonight's show. Coinbase looks troubled, SEC dismisses charges against McAfee, and Andorra's Digital Assets Act. It's 10 p.m. Pacific time. The date is July 16th, 2022. Welcome back to the Crypto Overnighter. My name is Nicodemus, and I'll be your host. The cover model, mascot, and co-host for this podcast is Tex. And together we take a nightly look at the crypto, NFT, and metaverse space and the industry that surrounds it. So take a minute, go ahead and subscribe to the podcast now, because we're here at 10 p.m. every night so that when you leave in the morning, you're taking with you the crypto news analysis that you need to start your day. And keep in mind, nothing in this show should ever be considered financial advice. Coinbase seems to be in some trouble, folks. I mean, we've known about this for a while, but it's becoming much more apparent now. One of the older crypto exchanges, it's 10 years old, last May. Coinbase has been around longer than Binance, who is now the world's largest crypto exchange. It's older than FTX, who is also advancing rapidly. Yet, Coinbase is losing market share, and it would seem that they're also losing relevance. One example, they spent a whole lot of money on that NFT exchange. There was a lot of fanfare around it, and if you look at what they put together, there was a lot of work involved. But work alone isn't enough, and neither is trying to stick a social media application on your NFT exchange. The ability to comment on people's NFTs or like them, it just doesn't seem to be working. And it's not just me guessing. GameStop launched their NFT marketplace. In 2 days, they did over 3,100 ETH in trading volume, total of $3.5 million, which is nothing compared to OpenSea, but it absolutely crushes Coinbase's 1,700 ETH and $1.8 million of trading volume. But that's not the point. The point is that GameStop could show up in the Web3 world and demolish a Web3 native in 2 days is interesting. Interesting and indicative that there is a problem, and being one of the oldest exchanges around isn't going to help fix it. For one thing, they've got an image problem. Closing down Coinbase Pro just looks bad. Closing down one of your major things like that during a bear market is not a sign of prosperity. Coinbase went public. They had their IPO in 2021. And I remember a number of influencers at the time who were saying that this is such an obvious sign that crypto adoption was on us. Massive adoption. And things look good at first. They peaked around $355 a share. Then they tumbled some 83% from that all-time high. Goldman Sachs had been neutral on Coinbase, which in this economy is not bad. Well, they've downgraded Coinbase from neutral to sell. And we also know that they cut around 20% of their workforce in June just to keep the costs down. Now, they had gone on a massive hiring spree during the bull run, and then they had to cut those positions just to stay afloat. Also doesn't look good. And further compounding that image problem, we reported that Coinbase started rescinding job offers. They told people that they were hired, then they took the job away. In some cases, people had accepted the job offer and put in notice at their prior employer. Some people's visas were jeopardized. So the latest danger sign is their affiliate program. They sent emails to creators citing market conditions. They point to the outlook for the rest of the year as part of the reason for stopping the affiliate program. And while they don't have a date, they're insistent that they will resume the program next year. So is this the end for Coinbase? It's not impossible. We've seen bigger giants fall recent. So is $5 to an affiliate to pay for a sign-up too much to charge? Maybe, maybe not. It is possible that they're enacting these measures, sometimes deeply unpopular measures, early enough that it's not going to be an issue. You know, if they've got 89 million registered, maybe they figure they've got enough. Airbnb used to have an affiliate program, and then they pivoted away from that to offering discounts. So maybe Coinbase is going to make it. I hope so. It's been around for a long time, and lots of people got their start buying crypto on Coinbase. If conditions are bad enough to get Coinbase wrecked, you better batten down the hatches, because there's a storm coming. Looks like a little bit of spring in the markets rather than the crypto winter of late. There's a lot of green out. At the time of writing, the global crypto market cap is at $970 billion. It's up 4.25% in 24 hours. The top 5 cryptos by market cap are Bitcoin up 2.67%, Ethereum up 11.82%, Tether, USDC, and Binance Coin up 4.86%. In October of 2020, the Securities Exchange Commission, the SEC, made some allegations against a couple of guys, Jimmy Gale Watson Jr. and John McAfee. Now, it's alleged that they promoted an initial coin offering investments on Twitter without disclosure. The SEC got final judgments for the ICO promotion scheme against both McAfee and Watson, and that was filed on the 5th of October 2020. In their original complaint, the SEC said that investors were promoting ICO investments without disclosing that they were paid for these promotions. They alleged that Watson was right along with McAfee, negotiating promotional deals with people looking to launch ICOs. They also said he was right there cashing out those payments as well. Beyond that, the SEC basically accused them of being part of various pump and dump schemes, allegedly accumulating large positions, then pump them up on Twitter. McAfee had millions of followers. So, typical celebrity pump and dump. Build a frenzy and then sell it all and collect the cash while the dupes lose money. And that's what they accused the pair of. Now, Team McAfee entered a plea of not guilty in March of last year. And the case comes to an end with a final judgment entered on the 13th of July of this year. All in all, the U.S. District Court for the Southern District of New York, they found Watson guilty. And as a part of his sentence, he has to pay over $375,000 in fines. But it gets worse. He's also banned from participating in any ICO-related activities. He can't issue coins, can't sell them. However, the final judgment says, quote, that such injunction shall not prevent Watson from purchasing or selling securities for his own personal accounts. So he's got that going for him. And it looks like the SEC just wants some closure on this case. Their claims against McAfee were dropped once the commission filed a notice of death for McAfee, which still hasn't been laid to rest, by the way. Spanish authorities insist that he committed suicide over a year ago. His body's laying in a Spanish morgue. His wife says no way. His wife and other members of the family have petitioned the Spanish High Court to get a third-party autopsy done. They're still waiting for that autopsy. The global NFT market cap is up 1.46%. Sales volume is down 3.98% in 24 hours. According to CoinMarketCap, the top 5 NFT collections by sales volume are CryptoPunks, followed by Other Deed, Nina's Super Cool World, Mutant Apes, and The Americans. Now keep in mind, some of these collections have very volatile prices, so do your own research. Andorra is a tiny European country, a landlocked micronation. Just 181 square miles, a population of 77,000 Andorrans. Andorra is the world's 16th smallest country by land and 11th smallest by population. So tiny. But while its population is the 11th smallest in the world, they are also the 11th largest country in the world in terms of Bitcoin trading volume. Andorra is the latest country to adopt a digital assets framework. That's because the country's government, the General Council of Andorra, has approved the Digital Assets Act. This act provides a 2-part framework for regulating digital currencies and blockchain technology. Like I said, it comes in 2 parts. Now, the first part is all about digital money. Now, listen to their wording here because it's important. Programmable digital sovereign money. You notice the word sovereign in there. Yeah, the first part establishes that Andorra can create digital money. Basically, it lets Andorra create their own token. Possibly a central bank digital currency, possibly a stable coin or something similar. And that sovereign word in there tells you things like Bitcoin and Ethereum are not being adopted as actual legal tender in Andorra. Right now, only the euro is authorized as a means of exchange. The Digital Assets Act doesn't change that fact. The second part of the Digital Assets Act is all about the digital assets. First, it establishes them as financial instruments. And in the act, they want to create a regulatory environment for digital block technologies to thrive in. I think they're smartly setting things up to be more appealing to businesses. Giving digital assets a classification and legal standing, putting together clear regulatory guidelines and rules goes a long way towards making things more transparent. And that is a more enticing environment to potentially invest your capital. Diari Andorra is their national newspaper, and they called the Digital Assets Act a step on the path that leads us to, quote, making cryptocurrencies a day-to-day reality. And I don't see why not. We already know that they're big on Bitcoin in Andorra, 11th in the world Bitcoin trading volume, despite having only 77,000 people. And being outside the European Parliament, they have a bit more freedom to act. And while they're no longer a tax haven, they gave up banking secrecy in 2018, they still have lower taxes, much lower compared to neighbors France and Spain. So while they're not quite to the point of adopting Bitcoin or any other crypto as a legal means of payment, giving digital assets a legal standing and classification gets them one step closer. And that's going to do it for us tonight. I want to thank you, my listeners, because when you stop listening, I'll stop talking. You stay safe out there. Watch out for yourselves, but watch out for each other too. We'll see you tomorrow night.